Hi everybody, my name is Paula and I'd like to welcome you to my Real Polish Fanatic little corner of YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping in and spending some of your day with me. I do appreciate you being here. Today I have the second part of the OPI Fall 2025 collection to show you. I've already done a video and posted it of the regular lineup, the 12-piece regular lineup. Today I have the Infinite Shine lineup to show you. I purchased my OPI collections from a website called polishpick.com. I've been buying from them for probably the 9 years I've been back in the United States, and I would highly recommend them. I think their prices are about half price retail. I think the regular line is like $6 each, and the Infinite Shine I think is like $7.25. No more than that, $7.50 maybe, no more than that though. And their shipping isn't too much, depending, it goes by how many bottles you purchase. So if you buy like 6 to 29 bottles of polish there at one time, shipping is $13, so that's not bad at all. I usually buy both of these collections together, so I get 24 bottles of polish and shipping is $13. So for that, it's not bad. If you buy like 4 to 5, it's $8.25, and 2 to 3 polishes is $6.75. They carry the OPI line, they have the regular line, they have the Infinite Shine line, and they also have the gel colors. I don't know the price of those. I do know they cost a little bit more being gel. And they also carry Morgan Taylor. And I would assume if China Glaze ever puts out another collection, they will carry China Glaze, because they used to in the past when China Glaze would put out new collections, they would have them. So I would assume if China Glaze ever gets a collection out, they probably will carry that too. But they definitely have all the OPIs, and they have Morgan Taylor and maybe a few other things on their website too. You could definitely check it out at polishpick.com. So like I said, I have been purchasing from them for at least 9 years that I've been back in the US. I lived in Canada for 10 years, so they don't ship to Canada. They do only ship to the US. But I've definitely been buying from them for a long time. Anytime I have a problem, they are so quick to rectify it. In this particular instance, I had a problem. I did have one of my Infinite Shine bottles break in transit. Wasn't anything that was Polish Pick's fault. Just, you know, sometimes that just happens, but I emailed them when I got the order in, and the very next, I'm on the West Coast, they're on the East Coast, so it was late at night when I emailed them, and the very next morning she was replying back saying, "So sorry that happened. I'll get you the replacement out in the mail right away," and it is in transit. I don't have it yet, so I'm only gonna have 11 of the polishes to show you today. I do have the broken bottle. I'll show you what it looks like, but you won't see a swatch of it at all. And just to let you know something I learned from her when I let her know this happened. So one bottle broke and it got polish on about 5 of the other bottles. And of course I would not expect her to replace bottles just because there's polish on the outside of them. But she gave me a very good hint that I had never used before, and I used it on these and it worked so well. She said to soak the bottles in some water, the ones just with polish on the outside of the bottle. She said soak the bottles in water. She says she usually does it overnight. I didn't even do it that long, but you just soak it in the water, and then I just took a sponge, like a scrubby sponge, and wiped all the polish just like flaked off very easily, and so much more easy and better on your nose than, you know, drowning a bunch of cotton balls or cotton rounds in acetone or something like that. And I was trying not to put the bottom labels, the name labels, in the water because I didn't know how it would affect those, if it would make them pop off, but a couple of them did soak for a couple of hours, totally submerged, bottom labels and everything, and they have not fallen off. So yeah, it was very easy. If you ever get a polish that comes to you where one has been broken and you have polish on, you know, your bottles, soak it in some water for a few hours and take a little, if you need to, if you do it longer, you may not even need the scrubby sponge, but I just used the scrubby sponge and it took it all right off very easily. There was a little bit on one of the lids that would not come out that way, but then I just took a little bit of my Zoya Remove Plus and it took it right off. So just a little tip for you in case that happens, because every now and then we get a broken bottle of polish. Unfortunately, it kind of goes with the territory of having little glass bottles of color mailed to us. So back to the subject at hand, I have the Infinite Shine portion of the Fall 2025 OPI collection. It is called What's Your ManiTude? It comes with this little book. Well, mine came with this little booklet. If you order from Polish Pick, I know that she includes the booklet until she runs out of them. So I don't know how long that might be, but here is the little booklet. What's Your ManiTude? And it says down here, shades straight out of the 90s, but totally now. Express your ManiTude with creamy and shimmery opaques and semi-sheers. So, that's very fun. All right, so I have 10 of the 11 polishes on my fingers. I have them on swatch wheels. So let us just go ahead. We're gonna turn the camera around. We're gonna jump right in and take a look at Fall 2025 OPI Infinite Shine. What's your ManiTude? All right, if you hear my cat playing in the background, please ignore her. She is in a mood. And so let's dive on in here. So like I said, I have 11 of the 12 Infinite Shines to show you. I have them on swatch wheels. I have them on my nails, most of them. So let's just go ahead and dive in. And I will also show comparisons between the regular line and the Infinite Shine on the swatch wheels at the end of this video, and bottles and things like that, so we can take a look, because some of the colors are similar in the same kind of color family. So we'll take a look at that at the very end also. And hopefully later in the week, or yeah, later next week, or maybe 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna try and do a comparison. I'm gonna try to go through my OPIs and pull out some things that might be similar to some of these, but that may be a couple of weeks down the road. But first up, Infinite Shine, OPI Fall. This one is called Mini Plaid Flirt. And OPI says about this one, this flirty semi-sheer orange-red cream will drive you plaid. These are OPI's descriptions, so there you go. I did not put this one on my nails because we all know OPI can do a red very well, so I didn't put the red one on my nails, but I do have it here on the swatch wheel. I have it in 1 coat. This is 2 coats. This is 3 coats with a matte top coat. I love showing things with a matte top coat because it is so fun, and sometimes you may not think to put a matte top coat on like a cream, but it really looks wonderful. So just a little suggestion there. Please ignore any cat hairs that you find in my videos. There's usually some, but here we have, that was the 3rd coat I just put on. And just to show you, OPI has not changed their brushes yet. They're still the skinny little kind of narrow brushes. They're not the worst brushes I've ever seen, but they really do need to try to give us some wide brushes one of these days. Some nice wide paddle brushes would be wonderful, OPI. So here is Mini Plaid Flirt. Here it is in 1 coat. This is 3 coats and 3 coats with a matte top coat. Just a very, very nice kind of orangey red cream. Like I said, I don't have this one on my fingers to show you, but here it is, Mini Plaid Flirt. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And up next, this Infinite Shine portion, we have Rollerbabe. And this one, they say, hey babe, this semi-sheer light orange cream will turn all the heads. That one I do have on my finger. I have it here in 2 coats. All of them on my nails are 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And for the glossy top coat, I maybe should have used the Infinite Shine top coat, but I used the OPI Rapid Dry because it was down here. So that is what I used on my fingers. So this is just like they say, just a very nice kind of lighter orange, kind of a medium orange. I wouldn't really call it light, but here it is, 2 coats with a glossy top coat on my nails. And that one on the swatch wheel is right here. We have it in 1 coat. This is 2 coats and 3 coats matte. Once again, very nice with the matte top coats. I'm really kind of loving these. We'll go in and put on a 3rd coat here. These had very nice formulas. I did not have any trouble applying them to my nails or to the swatch wheel, you can see the first coats are very nice and smooth. So here we have now Rollerbabe in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. I think these will mostly be 2 to 3 coaters for most people. A couple of them could be 1 coaters. I'll try to remember which ones those were. But here it is, very, very nice. Nice and smooth, pretty orange. This one is Rollerbabe. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And that one on me is right there in just 2 coats. You can see my nail line a little bit there with 2 coats, so if you do not like that, probably a 3rd coat would help to cover that a little bit more. And up next we have this one. This one is called Nail Prep Rally. And this one OPI says, give me an RED for the dark red cream that's got major prep. Couldn't read what that said. All right, so they say that this is a dark red cream. I find it to be, I guess it could be sort of a reddish brown. I definitely think that there is more brown than red in this one. Here it is on me in just 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Formula was very nice. And that one on the swatch wheel is right here in 1 coat. So this is very opaque in that first coat. This could maybe be a 1 coater, but definitely would not probably need more than 2. Here it is in 2 coats, and this is 3 coats with that matte top coat once again. Very, very nice. So I guess it is a little bit red in there, but definitely a reddish brown. I would not call this just a plain dark red myself. We'll put on a 3rd coat here. Again, formula's great. Goes on very smooth. And here we have that now in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. All of these with the matte top coat, just so velvety, so smooth, really, really nice. So here we have Nail Prep Rally in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. You can see I got some of the broken bottle there. There isn't much you can do if it gets on the sticker on the bottom, but it did come off the bottle very nicely. And up next, oh, I'll show you that one. That one right here is on me in just 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Excellent coverage. Up next we have this nice neutral. This one is called a Total Suzi. And this one says, be a Total Suzi in the stunning beige cream. So that pretty much sums it up. Here it is on me, 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Once again, very nice. That does look pretty color accurate there on my nail. And that one on the swatch wheel we have right here in 1 coat. This is 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Once again, so smooth there in that first coat. The regular lineup had excellent formulas. This whole collection did too. Very impressed with the formulas. We'll go in and put on a 3rd coat here. So here we have a Total Suzi in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very, very nice. Just a nice basic beige cream. And this is a Total Suzi. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And up next we have our first little shimmery one. Very nice. This one is called Tracksuited Cutie. And this says, rock your fave velour tracksuit with the semi-sheer shimmery mauve. All right, I don't think I would call this mauve, but here it is on me in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Again, you may see nail line through there just a little bit in 2 coats. This one may require 3 for you to be happy if you don't like seeing your nail line. And this one did have a bit of a streaky first coat, just a little bit. But here it is in 1 coat, 2 coats, and 3 coats matte. It's not showing too streaky on here, but I remember when I put it on my nail, it was just a little bit streaky. The second coat covered everything up, filled it in wonderfully. So here it is, loving that with the matte top coat. You can really see the little shimmery bits a little bit better that way. We'll go in and put on our 3rd coat here. So here is Tracksuited Cutie in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. Let me see if putting black behind it will get us a little there. That's pretty color accurate right there. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very nice. Loving the little shimmery bits. They're a little shy. Let's see. I don't notice them too much under this lighting on my nail. You can see them out in brighter, brighter natural light. You can see it a little bit better. And it's really fun there with the matte top coat also. It helps to have them pop out a little bit more. So here we have Tracksuited Cutie in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. And that does seem pretty color accurate there. Maybe just a little bit darker on that 3rd coat. And up next we have another brown. This is a pretty nice fall collection. I think it is quite cohesive for fall. I said that same thing about the regular lineup. I think they picked the colors quite well. So up next we have Lip Hot Liner. And this one says, pucker up. This deep brown cream is 1-800-HOT, H-A-W-T. Okay, OPI. Just a nice brown cream. Here it is on my thumb. This one I think could be a 1-coater. This was very nice in just 1 coat. I do have 2 coats with a glossy top coat, as all my nails are. I did get a little bit of bubbles on this one from the top coat, I believe. I think my top coat's getting a little thick. Need to add a little bit of thinner to it, but it was very smooth before I put the top coat on, so I do think it was the top coat that caused it. And there we go, in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. And again, very nice. Loving that matte top coat with these, even though they're just creams, just really gives you such a different look. It's kind of fun to play with things like that and just see. I don't think you'll need a 3rd coat for sure for this one, but here it goes. There's a 3rd coat. Like I said, I think this one could possibly be a 1-coater. I would not think more than 2. Unless you just like to do 3 coats, then of course. But here we have Lip Hot Liner in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. Just very nice, basic, dark chocolatey brown. And this one, Lip Hot Liner. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And there you can see it there on my thumb in just 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Very nice. So that was my left hand. I think these 4 look, I said the same thing in the regular lineup. I think these 4 look quite fun with a Skittles, as a Skittles mani even. I think the regular lineup, the ones that I had on my left hand, looked a little bit better. But there's that one. Moving on to the next swatch wheel here, getting into some of the funner colors. Up first we have this pretty green, and this one is called OPI'm, a Supermodel. And OPI says, do your thing on the runway in this forest green cream. It's maybe just a little darker than that. I would almost call this evergreen. And there it is on me, 2 coats with a glossy top coat, and that does look pretty color accurate on my nail. I think I would call this one evergreen. I guess forest green. I guess forest green could work also. That's what OPI called it. But here it is, 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Very, very nice. We'll go in and put on our 3rd coat. This does deepen up as you add more coats to it. You can see there between 1 and 3 coats, it's gotten a little bit darker. And here that is now in 1 coat, 3 coats, and 3 coats matte. Very, very nice. If you like creams between the regular lineup and the Infinite Shine lineup, there are a lot of creams to choose from in this fall collection. And this one is called OPI'm, a Supermodel. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And there it is on me in just 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Up next we have a pretty kind of baby blue. I'd say it's kind of a grade blue. And this one is called Totally Tubular. Totally Tubular with blue there in the middle. And this one says, today's forecast is totally sky blue in this cool, creamy finish. Very nice. I think this has a bit of gray to it. Here it is on me, on my poor little, I had a little hangnail, so I covered that up, but there it is in 2 coats with a glossy top coat on me. Very nice. That does seem pretty color accurate too, right there. And that one on the swatch wheel is here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. I think you can see, let's see. I think it's better this way. So just a little bit of gray to that blue. I really like it. I like kind of these dusty, the regular lineup had a lot of kind of dusty creams, and I really like that. They're just a little bit dusty, a little bit smoky. So here we have Totally Tubular, I'm just gonna say it regular instead of how they want me to. There it is in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very, very nice gray blue. And this is Totally Tubular. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And there it is on me in 2 coats. Up next we have another kind of a shimmery one. This one is called In Platformation. These names, I tell you. OPI says, the higher the platform, the closer to this midnight blue shimmer. This is very dark. To me, it's kind of a blue-gray again, very dark though. And that one on me is right here in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Midnight blue actually might work for this. Now that I see it on me, it does look very midnight blue there. In the bottle, it looks a little bit more gray. And it looks like it has maybe some blue or silvery kind of sparkles in there, but they don't really sparkle. It's very hard to see them at all actually on the nail. Just give us a little bit of interest maybe. But here is that one now in 1 coat. This is 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Very nice. I'm not really seeing any sparkles actually on this swatch wheel either, not even with the matte top coat. Just sort of took them all away somehow. But here we go with the 3rd coat. You can see it now that it's wet a little bit, but just know it's just gonna add a little bit of interest. It's not really gonna add much sparkle to the nail as far as I can tell. But here's that one now, 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very nice. I don't know if we can see any sparkles in there, but still a very nice, pretty On me, let me see. Let's look at this. I guess that is pretty similar. It's not really, I don't know that I would call this blue actually. To me, it's a very dark gray with a little bit of blue tone. That's what it looks like to me. And this one is Get In Platform-ation. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. It is still a very nice color and kind of an unusual one. I don't see this color a whole lot. It's kind of blue, it's kind of gray. It's nice, but it's not very sparkly. Up next, we have another kind of somewhat sparkly one here. You can see it in the bottle. This one is called Belly Button Bling. These names, OPI. To me, oh, what it says about this one, let's see. So what it says about this one is, oh my gosh, I'm almost embarrassed to read these. This one says, pierce me baby one more time in this semi-sheer gray shimmer. Yeah, a little bit embarrassed to even read these descriptions, OPI. But there it is. And that one on me is right here in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Just a very nice darker gray color. And again, I'm not really noticing that those shimmer bits at all under this lighting. Let's see if we can see it on the swatch wheel at all. I don't think so. Here it is in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Even again with the matte top coat, you're seeing a little bit of brightness to it, but not really any like individual shimmer bits or anything like that. But we'll go in and put on our 3rd coat. So here we have Belly Button Bling in 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Trying to get this. It's not that dark, but it's not quite that light either. It's kind of in between those 2 colors. This one looks very close. Just a little bit darker than that, a little bit darker gray, but still a nice color. And you can kind of see the shimmer now that it's wet, but even on me, I'm not really seeing it. There it is, 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And yeah, I'm not really seeing too much shimmer, even on me. But this one is called Belly Button Bling. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Once again, still a nice color. All these are nice, even though they're not too shimmery. And the last polish I have to swatch for you is this beautiful purple. This one is called My Berry Janes, and OPI says about this one, put your selfie in these shoes with a semi-sheer purple shimmer. Oh, OPI. I love purple polish. Here it is on me in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. So this one you can tell is a shimmer rather than a cream. There's no glitter bits or anything, but you can tell it's a little bit shimmery there. 2 coats, glossy top coat on me. And that one on the swatch wheel is right here in 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats matte. Very, very nice. Love it with that matte top coat, so rich and velvety looking. We will go in here and put on our 3rd coat. So these do self-level very nicely. A regular line did too. Very happy with the formulas of all of these. You can see even in that 1st coat, very smooth. Here it is, 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. Very, very nice. It has kind of that silvery shimmer, adding just a little bit of interest to it. And there it is on me in just 2 coats with a glossy top coat. Very, very nice. This one is My Berry Jane's. 1 coat, 3 coats, 3 coats matte. And then I'm missing the last one because, as I said, I did have a bottle break in transit. This is what it would look like. This one is called High Stock-blings. And what OPI says about this is, let me move that out so I don't cut myself. What OPI says about this one is a semi-sheer apricot shimmer that's giving prepster next door. So, like I said, I could not swatch this one because by the time I got it, it was empty and couldn't even get a little bit out. But this looks like a very nice kind of darker orangey apricot salmony kind of color. And again, with that shimmer that may or may not show up on the nail. I am getting the replacement in the mail. It is on the way, but I do not have this one to swatch for you today. But very nice. I can throw that away now. All right, so here they are on me. Here were 4 of the first ones, and then that pretty dark brown. Here are the others. We got that pretty kind of foresty green, that gray blue, that really dark kind of greenish bluish gray, and then the concrete kind of gray, that pretty purple. So let's take a look between this collection and the regular lineup that I did do a video on the other day and see how things compare. So the Infinite Shine swatch wheel will always be down here towards the left, and the regular lineup will be kind of up there towards the top on the right. So here we have the 2 reds. These, they look pretty similar actually, and I was gonna say they look a little different in the bottles, but they are pretty similar. The regular lineup is on the right. It is maybe a little more red, whereas the Infinite Shine is maybe just a little bit more orange. But they're very, very similar. And I think the Infinite Shine is maybe a little bit more of a crelly than a cream. I can just see, you can kind of see it moving around a little bit better in there. You can kind of see that bubble, which lends me to think that it's a little bit more jelly leaning, but not a jelly. So I would say it's more of a crelly. But here are those 2. These 2 are Mini Plaid Flirt and Totally Reticle. And there they are, very, very similar actually. I didn't think they were going to be quite that close. And here on the swatch wheels, like I said, Infinite Shine is down here towards the bottom left, regular line upper right, and they are really quite similar. Just a little bit more orange to the Infinite Shine, but those 2 touching are both 3 coats. So quite similar. There they are matte. Just a tone off, like I say, just a little bit more orange to that Infinite Shine. And then the next one we looked at here was this orangey one. And I did not have really an orangey one last time. I had more of a yellow. So these 2 are not that close. These were Rollerbabe and Penny Loafer Lane. So these 2 are not that close. And not close on the swatch wheel either. And then what else? We have these 2 here, which are both kind of reddish browns. Let's see what those are. We have this one and this one. So the Infinite Shine and the regular line. We have Nail Prep Rally and Slip Dressed Up. So here's those. I feel like the Infinite Shine does have maybe a little bit more red to it, and the regular line may have just like a little bit more orange or something to it. And here are those two on the swatch wheels. The two touching are the 3 coats each. If you look at the 1 coat, you can see a bit more of a difference. And then there they are, both matte. And then what else did we have that could be similar? So those two aren't really similar. It's a little bit more purple. I didn't really have a dark brown in the regular line. We had a darker brown shimmer, but not really that similar. And then we had the greens are not really that similar at all. I kind of like the regular line green is a little bit more fall looking to me. There they are, the 3 coats are touching there. And then the lighter blues, the one in the regular line is a little bit more purple leaning, a little bit more kind of periwinkle-like. And today's is a little bit more of a sky blue. We did not have a purple last time. The grays are quite different. The regular lineup is more of a lighter concrete gray, whereas today's was a bit more of a darker gray. And that's really, I didn't really have, I guess these two could kind of be sort of tealy colored. That might be a good description for today's, like a very, very dark teal. Kind of a grade teal. But here's those, so those are not similar. And then I think that is all that I have that's very close. Like this would be the closest to purple that we had in the regular lineup. It's kind of a mauvey purple in the regular line. And then that pretty brighter shimmery one. And yeah, so I don't have anything else really to compare here. But I will try to, like I said, pull out some comparisons from my OPI collection and see what I can find for that. But otherwise, here are today's swatch wheels. Very, very nice. Let's go ahead and turn the camera around. We'll finish this up. All right, so that was the Fall 2025 OPI Infinite Shine line. What's your ManiTude? Here they are on the swatch wheels. I think it's a very nice fall collection. I think it's quite cohesive. Got a couple brighter ones in there, but very nice. Just to show you really quickly, here was the regular lineup. These were the 2 regular lineups. Again, we had a couple bright ones. There was a coral that didn't make a whole lot of sense in that one, but otherwise I thought that was also a very nice fall collection. Had a lot of dustier creams, love that. These 2 collections are very cream heavy. Even the shimmers in today's seemed very cream-like, so do with that what you will. Hopefully you like creams. But let me know in the comments, whatever is on your mind, what did you think of any of these polishes I showed you today? Did you have any favorites? I like them. I think both collections were very nice. They both had excellent formulas. I wore both of them in just 2 coats on my nails. I was very happy with it that way. But, you know, I love purple, so if I had to pick favorites, I love the purple. I really like this kind of dusty blue. From that wheel, let's see. I do like I do like all the browns. I like them all. I think my 2 favorites would have been those 2 though, the purple and then the dustier blue. But let me know in the comments what it was your favorite from this collection. Like I said, I am going to try to pull out some dupes. Some of the regular lines as I was painting them reminded me of things. So, and if you can think of anything that you think something I showed you today or in the regular lineup could be similar to, let me know in the comments because that helps me a lot, because otherwise I have to just look through like 500 bottles of polish to try and find dupes for you. So if you can think of anything that might be close to any of these I showed you in this video or the previous one, which I will link in the description here in case you missed it, just let me know in the comments because that will make my life a little bit easier. But that is all I have. I want to thank you so much for stopping in and spending some of your day with me and checking out this fall collection. I can't believe we're already getting fall collections. Kind of love it. I love the fall time of year. I love fall collections. I love Halloween collections. But that's all I have. Don't forget, check out polishpick.com. I will also link that in the description of this video if you want to check them out. half price OPIs, can't beat it. Even with the shipping, it's still cheaper than buying it at a drugstore or at Ulta or something. But that's all I have. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm just going to say goodbye for now.